Hi, my name is David Blystone, and welcome to my introduction video for my geometry video series. So, I'm making this a video course, and you can use it in different ways, as standalone videos for just different topics you need to learn about. You could use it as a comprehensive homeschool course. I am going through a whole geometry course here, using a book, giving the examples from the book, and teaching the lessons from the book. So this could easily be a comprehensive homeschool course. This could also be a course complement. Let's say you're taking geometry and you just want to kind of review what you did in class, things you did in class. You could use these videos to kind of help you review that. Or a refresher for, like, let's say you just need to remember it over the summer or whatever's coming up. You need to remember your geometry. That would be a way to use these videos. So the resources I will be using are UCSMP Geometry 2nd Edition, UCSMP University of Chicago School Mathematics Project. The book looks like this over here. It may have a little logo that says Prentice Hall, or it may say Scott Forsman. Either way, it's the same book. It's just a different printing of it. But it should look like this with this picture and this. If it has something different, like a wheel on the front, or it's something else in a different way, it is not the exact same book. All other editions are different. They have many of the same sections, but some combine, some put apart, and move things around. I am following this book. So if you're wanting to actually follow along and use this as a course, you need this book. I will be using occasionally a graphing calculator and geometry stuff on Desmos. And there's another one I didn't put up here. Let me put it up here real quick. It is called GeoGebra. It's also a good algebra, geometry and algebra software. GeoGebra is also good. I will probably be using that at some point too. So what would you? So if you're going to use this as a homeschool private teaching, not just as individual videos, here's what I would suggest: get the book to do problem sets. I put at the end of every video, I put a suggested problem set that you should do. Practice. And you can find the book on eBay or AbeBooks or pretty much anywhere where you can get used books. You could probably find it online. Pretty cheap. You may even be able to find it in a half-price books type store. Not guaranteed. You may. If you're really going to do this, get the solutions manual just in case. Again, if you're going to, because you might want to know how to do a problem that you didn't know. There is something called Answer Masters. Answer Masters only give you answers. They're like for checking homework. They're fine if you know how to do all the problems, but if you don't know how to do a problem, it just gives you an answer and doesn't help you. Get the solutions manual, it will be helpful. Now, that is a paperback. Again, just search UCSMP Geometry Solutions Manual. Make sure it has the picture of that textbook on it, and you got the right thing. The other thing you can look for is the TRF CD-ROM. TRF is Teacher's Resource File. It basically is all the books, the other books go with it, the practice books, they call them lesson masters, the answer masters, the solutions manual, the tests and quizzes, all of that on a CD-ROM and PDF forms. That's another way you can get the solution manual if you couldn't find just a solutions manual. Tests. Right now, if you're wanting to use tests for private teaching, there is, again, a assessment, it's called Assessment Masters. It's on TRF CD-ROM as well. You could do that if you want. Also, in the future, I may decide to make my own private tests that I would be willing to share with parents and people who are overseeing homeschool and private teaching opportunities that might be using my videos. I will make a video about that at some point later, telling you the decision I have on that. And if I do, how you can contact me and possibly get the tests. They will not just be copies from those assessment masters, because those are able to be found, and students could get their hands on them. And that's not very, it's not very fair that they see the problems beforehand. It's a test. So how should you use the videos? Have a pencil, paper, and calculator ready. You might also need a ruler, a protractor, and a compass. Not the compass you use to tell direction, but one of those with the little point and the little pencil to draw a circle. If you're using it in a homeschool course or private learning, do it in notebooks so you have the notes all there. The main things are the pencil, paper, and calculator. Protractor, ruler, and compass maybe for certain sections, and to draw diagrams. Drawing diagrams and geometry is important. You should write down all new vocabulary, theorems, and charts. We will get a lot of vocabulary and things called postulates and theorems at different points that you will need to write down. Pause the video and write those down. I will try to say, pause the video and write this down when it comes out. Write out the word examples. There will be examples that I will work right on screen. I'll read the example and go ahead to work it out. Write it out with me. Follow along and write out how to do the problem. Then I'll give you a you try problem. A you try problem where I'll read the problem. I'll say, all right, pause the video. See if you can do this problem. And then play the video and see if you got it right. And then I'll give you a chance to pause it. And then I'll start to work the problem. And you can see if you got it right after you've done it. Again, there's nothing stopping you from, just watching it, but to me, it helps that you actually tried it yourself before I show you the answer. Calculators. I will assume that you have at least a scientific calculator for this course. You don't need a graphing calculator, but if you follow me, and I will assume you have one starting in Algebra 2, so you may want to invest in one. Again, if you're using this with someone else and they tell you no calculators, that's their choice. I can't change their mind. But I will say, if you are using this as homeschool, follow what I say about calculators. They are good to have because you can use them on SAT and PSAT and ACT. So learn to use them. They're worth it. Don't use your phone if you can help it. Yes, your phone has a good calculator. Actually, iOS has a pretty great calculator app. But when you get to something like the PSAT or SAT, you can't use your phone. You have to use a regular calculator or the calculator possibly built into the virtual test the online test they give you, or both. Personally, so I wouldn't bother learning how to use the calculator on my phone to get used to it, because it's just, you're not going to always have it. Plus, the phone, you could look up the answer if you're really stuck, and you don't need to do that. So, get a regular calculator. So here's some recommendations. The TI-30X2S, there's a regular and a multi-view version. Both are good. Then there are a couple by Casio. I don't know the Casio ones that well, them or the graphing calculators. But for the scientific, I saw them on Amazon. They had good reviews. And from the pictures, they seem to have what you would need. Scientific calculators are pretty standard anyway. But these are two models, the 300ES and the FX115ES Plus second edition. Those seem to be pretty good scientific calculators. For a graphing calculator, the TI-83 Plus or 84 Plus, their whole series, great. Those are probably some of your best ones. Those are kind of your industry standards, really. I don't know anything about Casio's. Casio, I know, has made graphing calculators for a while, but I just don't know them, so I can't tell you if they're any good or not, and I can't certainly tell you how to use them. I know they're different. So again, use those. If you want a graphing calculator, those are the ones I suggest. There are older models, the TI-82, way older, and the TI-83, way older, and pretty much older. They are slower versions of the TI-83 Plus, And TI-82 also kind of has like less functionality in some areas. Still okay calculators. If you can find it really cheap and you need something really cheap, they work. It's not bad. But I know in some of those other ones, the screens are starting to get, bad. And so you got to be careful with those. But if you can find one where the screen's good, cheap, and you just want something cheap, even one of those would work. There are other models by TI. I would not recommend any other models. TI 73 is like it's a really, it doesn't can't do half things. It's a beginning graphing calculator. You don't want that. There's like an 86, I think, and an 85. You don't want those. 83 plus, 82 if you must, 83 if you must. 84 plus is really good too, and any of those models. What about the 89 Titanium or Inspire or the T89? Don't get those right now. Those have a computer algebra system. It's powerful, but again, like the SAT and PSAT, it's not allowed. It is for AP exams, but if you're taking geometry, you're a little bit away from that. So, I mean, you can get one, but use it at your own risk. Because, again, if you want, you couldn't use it on something like the SATs. So, if you were going to get one, I would get one of the TI-83 or 84 series. One of these, you may look into it, investing in it later, but also a lot of colleges don't let you use it because of the computer algebra system. So, I mean, I would say if you can afford a second graphing calculator, if your parents can or you can, then one of these would be a good idea. But if you're going to get one, the TI-83 series or TI-84 series. So this is an overview of basically what will be covered in this geometry set. We start off with Unit 1, points and lines. Then Unit 2 will be the language and logic of geometry. Unit 3, we talk about angles and lines. Unit 4, we talk from reflections to congruence. Unit 5, we talk about proofs using congruence. Unit 6, polygons and symmetry. Unit 7 will be triangle congruence. Unit 8, perimeters and areas. Unit 9, three-dimensional figures. Unit 10, surface area and volumes. Unit 11, indirect and coordinate proofs. Unit 12, similarity. Unit 13, similar triangles and trigonometry. And Unit 14, further work with circles. So that's an overview for this geometry set of videos. They will start going up, starting with Unit 1 when soon after this video goes up. So I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope they do you well. As always, keep learning.